You are about to listen to Only Fools and Collecting, a podcast for those who like a good moan about figure collecting and don't mind naughty words.
Hello everyone, welcome. We are on episode 30. It is our birthday.
Yay!
We have made it to 30 episodes, which I didn't think we were going to get to without someone getting pissed off and throwing us off. But
Congratulations, mate.
Yeah, no, you too. It's been fun. I've enjoyed it. So let's hope we get to let's aim for 60 now.
No, I think definitely 50. I mean, that's a big one. I don't think either of us are running out of steam, so we'll just keep this going.
You're the only fucker I get to talk to about figures.
Well, yeah, exactly. So I as we said before, we came on. Even if nobody ever watches it, we'll just do this anyway.
No. So unless Corona gets one of us, we're in this for the long haul.
Definitely. Evening, Ryan on the chat.
Yeah, we got Ryan here.
Yep.
Nice one, my man. Hello. So we would like to take this opportunity, because I'm not going to forget this week, like I've done every week so far, to thank Watto Scrapyard, the main man. The guy keeps me personally supplied with lots and lots of head sculpts, which are all awesome. There's a few there that have been painted up. And he's in the chat. Top guy, pleasure to deal with. Give him a shout. He's been killing it with the sculpts. Like I said, I think last time he put up a post, and the amount I must admit, I did not realise the amount of sculpts.
No, I know. And in such quite a short time as well, less than a year.
Yeah. And like every time a Mando episode drops, a day later, it's like bam, 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 bam.
Dropped Bo-Katan and the girl and stuff, and they're brilliant. And you think,
if there's anything there that you don't that doesn't tickle your pickle, give him a shout, and he will quite happily make it for you.
Yeah.
So
we've got
he's
Sean,
the man.
Over 300. Sean says
over 300.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, mate.
Danny Lee, Danny.
Yeah, hello, Dan. It's when you see the posts he puts up with just a garage full of 3D printers, and I'm like, that is awesome. That is awesome.
You're catching him up quick, Ian, but
with my one,
with your production levels, I saw you had some.
I've
spares up for sale today.
Yeah, I've been trying to figure scale out and stuff like that, and I've just been printing. The problem is now when I'm at home is that if I'm at home, I'm like, I could be printing something.
You might as well be running, mightn't it?
Yeah, and I've the Vaders I've had a lot of fun with messing around, doing a few different versions of them. So that's all good.
I love the last one you put up, the really pale.
So that was So Steve, who's not with us, he is alive, by the way. When I say that sounded pretty dead. Yeah, no, he's off doing other stuff. He's not dead. So I use Mesh Mixer for pissing about with stuff, and I could not get a peg hole in the like neck piece for the helmet. Whatever I did, it just completely fucked the file. And I was like, fuck's sake. So I said to him, can you do me a favour? Can you try it? And he uses Blender, which is far more complicated.
Right.
And he did it for me and sent it over. So I snapped that off of my old one and fitted the new collar that I painted up last night. And I've started using a different paint for him as well, like a semi-gloss. So it's come out a lot better than the other one I did.
It looks really good. Yeah.
So I'm happy with that. Like the head's pretty much the same. I think I gave it a quick dry brush or something last night. But last night I spent a good 2-3 hours just sanding and buffing and polishing and getting all the snots and stuff off the ones I've got. And I was like, I've got too many. There's some here that I don't need. I'm not going to need them. So I did that last night, and I'm gonna those Vaders with the busted open top. I'm probably going to look at doing a run of those, get them painted up over Christmas and put them on. So it looks like this is Zach. Zach sent me a care package the same time as the Mandalorian, but I only just about managed to open it. So I will tell you all about the care package on our next show.
Oh, he's gonna hate that. He's got to wait 2 weeks to see the picture.
I know, and a little bit of me loves that.
Not a big part of you loves that.
I got too carried away with Mando, you see. That's what it was.
Yeah.
But so, cool. Pete, New this fortnight.
I think this might be a first for me. I think I've normally managed to scrape something out every week, but this definitely. I don't think I was really looking around, going, is there anything? And there isn't. So I found a comical fuck all. Now, obviously, it's been mentioned a lot that I've got a Mando coming from Toys Buying Agent. He's now 35 days in transit. And
you've well and truly beat my crate, Luke.
Yeah, definitely. And I've come to understand from various other collectors that I'm not the only one in that boat. No. There's a lot of other people, and it's to do with apparently the UK ports are completely swamped with a kind of double whammy of something like 10,000 crates of PPE equipment ordered by the government, and supplies that they're expecting to be short of in Brexit. Whether that's toilet roll or not, I don't know, but it's kind of jammed everything up. So everything's taking a fair while to come through from I didn't use EMS or anything, although apparently EMS has been pretty shafted as well. And I think unless like when we go on to talk about it in a minute, unless you're going through private couriers now, FedEx, DHL, things are pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
So I may have him for the next show. We'll see. I'll keep you posted. But I kind
Hopefully.
of, yeah. I mean, I'm not too bothered because I know that obviously it'll get sorted out if he doesn't, money wise and all that kind of thing. But yeah, I've never known it this bad. And I know if I was fully aware of the situation, then I wouldn't have ordered from there. To be honest, I'd have gone the route that you did. So you learn something every day. So that's me. But let's move on to you, sir.
So not to rub it in, but my Mando arrived.
Tell us about that, Ian.
Yeah, so this was my first ever order from Sideshow. Normally I order from Hong Kong, but lately the prices have just been too much and nothing is turning up. So, it's turning up, but just stupidly late. So I took the plunge and ordered with Sideshow because I think they had it was 200 quid plus I think 30 quid postage. Now, obviously, when I ordered it, the import was pretty much unknown. I wasn't really I knew it was about 20%, but I've seen people get stung a lot more. And obviously with Sideshow, they mark the total value including shipping. So it's 20% of the shipping as well. So I think I paid, it was 35 quid for the import. So all in all, 265.
Yeah, good.
When I placed the first, and the good thing about this is I paid it off in chunks as well. So I paid the last payment the moment it went up, I think a day before.
But it was
due in. And at the time when I put the first order in, which was probably beginning of the month or just towards the end of last month, I had a look and say Toys Wonderland had this for 300 quid. And I was like, I like it, but it's not 300 quid's worth of figure.
No, I struggle with that. Yeah, when they were. Yeah.
So I just looked on Sideshow, 200 quid, and I thought it's £100 cheaper. I'm not going to get £100 worth of import and postage.
No.
And then I would have looked around at some UK retailers, but I don't think a lot of them have got theirs in yet.
No.
And the ones that have got theirs in have just imported it anyway.
Yeah.
And people are paying.
They're all around the 300.
Yeah. So, and I wanted to see what Sideshow was like, because the only other thing I've got an order with them is my my Speeder Luke. I ordered one of them a while ago.
Yeah. What was the price?
I think I got 200 and something. I'm not. I can't even remember.
240, something like that.
Something like
slightly
that.
Less than that, or
yeah, about that. I think I'll have to have a look. So they shipped it. They shipped it Wednesday.
Yeah,
and it turned up Monday morning.
Yeah.
So I can't complain with that.
No, definitely. It's really good.
So yeah, I was well impressed with Sideshow, to be fair, and I think I'm going to use them for a few more bits going forward. I think if you pre-order with a Hong Kong seller, you'll on day one you'll get it cheaper, albeit a lot of the prices seem cheaper.
The day one prices are still quite inflated, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, I think this day one was like 180 odd quid.
Okay.
And then you add like your 40 quid shipping on for
good.
like EMS, which would take fucking like 6 months. So I'm gonna order a couple more bits. I think the next couple of figures I'll probably do from Sideshow just to build some points up, and because I think I got 12 quid back on this.
Yeah. That's good.
And just to see if this was a fluke or not. Mm-hmm. I want to try a few UK retailers as well, and just spread it out a bit and just generally see who comes out on top. But the thing with Sideshow is you get that customer service as well.
Yeah.
As much as they can be a shit bag sometimes, you get the website is super easy.
I suppose the difference is obviously you didn't pre-order this. If you'd pre-ordered with Sideshow, you'd still get
technically I did pre-order.
Yeah, but it was for a incoming batch, wasn't it? But if you'd pre-ordered with Sideshow whenever...
Well, actually, no. When I put the first order in, I hadn't had any notification to say it was incoming.
Okay.
When I pre-ordered it, it said October to November, so I knew it was going to come out relatively soon.
Yeah.
And then obviously November hit, and then it was like it just changed to November. I paid the last payment off beginning of the month, and then got the notification to say it's coming in. It's coming in like Tuesday.
Yeah. All I was going to say is if you'd pre-ordered this when this first went up on Sideshow, I think you'd still get it before the UK retailers. Just that you're getting it around about the same time because you only ordered a couple of weeks ago. So
I think, technically this is probably second batch.
Yeah. So I think the very earliest is going to be day one from HK, and then batch 2 from HK. We should be about the same time as Sideshow gets their first batch out. And then the UK retailers tend to follow a couple of months after Sideshow normally.
Unless it's Ant-Man, in which case you get that like 6 months after. Like poor man Dave.
Oh, yeah. Just to look at that,
just got that, I think.
That hideous smiling sculpt that he said he's going straight back in the box.
Bad for him. I do feel bad for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully anyway, won't take too long to join that.
But as a figure, it's brilliant. I really like it. It's shrink ray.
Yeah.
One thing I did notice, and I thought people might have been laying it on a bit thick, was how bad the articulation was. The fat suit, the fat suit is fucking awful. It's horrendous. He couldn't raise his arm up. So that photo I've got in the corner with him with his arm straight out.
Yeah,
couldn't do it.
He couldn't even do that. No, he was dropping down, wasn't it? Yeah,
yeah. And then where I've got him kneeling down with the rifle right up into his shoulder, you wouldn't be able to do that either. No. The fat suit really hinders the articulation.
Yeah,
but aesthetically, I get why they do it. It smooths out everywhere you've got joints. It fills the clothes out. I get it. Yeah. So in the first instance, I took it off and I used 2-part silicone on the arms.
Yeah.
Just so the gauntlets didn't drop about, which I've done on a few figures actually that I've taken padding out of. So my Armored Batman's the same. I've done it on that as well. And
another figure with really bad articulation with the fat suit.
So I took the undersuit completely out of that, packed it out with the silicone foam, and it's fine.
Yeah.
So, 2-part silicone or silicone foam.
Yeah.
And it's fine. It bends. It does everything it needs to do. So I'd done that, and I left it on there for like a day or so, and I was driving home, and I thought I need to order another Python so I can stick it on there. Then I thought, okay, I'll have a look. And I used to get my Pythons from movie figures.
Yeah.
Because they only used to be about 60 quid. Went on there, 90 quid.
I know.
I was like, no, I'm not. They're nice, but they're not that nice.
No.
90 quid's too much. And I thought, nah, fuck it. So I took it off my Indie and put nicked a hand solo. Took my hand solo apart and nicked the body from that to put on Indie. And it just doesn't look right. So that link.
You got no hand at the moment then?
No, I'm handless. So that JX body link that you sent me, I bought one of those. So that's only like 40 quid and it'll turn up whenever it turns up. So that'll go on Indie and then hand can have his body back. But as soon as you, and then to strip this down is super easy. Like, it's a piece of piss. It's all Velcro.
Yeah,
it's all Velcro zips.
Zach's video,
yeah. So if what I'd say is, because there's lots of comments and there's lots of people going, "How do you do it?" and "How easy is it?" And if you can manage to get yourself dressed, you can do this.
And remember which shoe goes on which foot when you put them back on again. Yeah.
I think the most complicated thing I had to do with this was to hold the head over the kettle to heat it up a little bit, and the feet and hands I think I dipped in boiling water just to soften up. And then other than that, it's the one time that actually the Python pegs seem to fit quite nicely.
Because normally they can be a bit of a pain.
Yeah, but these are nice and tight. It fills the clothes out really well. It all goes on, no bother at all. The thing is, it's not a jumpsuit. Everyone keeps saying it's a jumpsuit.
Yeah, it's a separate top.
It's top and trousers.
Yeah,
so that makes things even easier.
Yeah.
So
I think we've talked in length about these bodies, and they are the best for articulation. But normally they're wasted if they're covered up with clothes. But I think this is the exception to that. Obviously you can get a lot of the articulation back by doing the fat suit mod, but I think this is the ultimate one. And as you said, it's not worth it if you haven't got a body and you've got to pay 60, 70, 80, 90 pounds. I wouldn't bother. But it's only that you had one lying around. I've got one lying around.
Yeah. You see, I used to be very much like, if you don't see the joints, what's the fucking point?
Yeah.
But I must admit, since having this body on my Indie and now having it on the Mando, I'm swinging more towards, actually, even if it does have clothes on, I would probably put it on there.
Yeah. And it gives it a fantastic weight as well and feel.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of, when people say about the difference between die cast and plastic Iron Men.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. You get the heft to it.
Yeah. It's
but
great,
as well, it's just stupid stuff. Like, you can drop the shoulders further. The arms stick against the body.
It's the subtlety of the pose, isn't it?
If I move, because of it being silicone, if I move part of the leg, the top just moves with it. You don't have these poses where the top of the leg, where it looks like they're broken at the knee because the bottom's moving independently to the top, and they are very good bodies.
So that little bit of friction helps. So as you say, it turns with great.
So I am swinging more towards, when I look at stuff like Boba Fett and I look at my Django that's now got the Mando body on. I'm thinking, perhaps. Yeah, big time. I need to sort the feet out though and install magnets and stuff like that. But I've got some new silvery paint to try on that as well. Some rub and buff that people have been using for Mando helmets, but it's completely different to most stuff I've ever used before. I need to figure that out.
Yeah,
but it's an awesome figure. Yes, it's an M33.
Yeah. And I don't think, because yours was a bit modified like mine, you'd cut some bits out, but I think the standard one would fit in fine, wouldn't it?
To be honest, the bits we cut out of it make no difference. No. That we only did those because the Irish shirts are very, very tight.
But you'll find that JX01 body, that shirt fits perfectly. It's brilliant.
Yeah,
it's so much better than on the M33.
Yeah,
really good.
Yeah. The only thing that annoys me, there's two things that annoy me a bit about this figure, and that's the little detonator that sits in his belt. I've given up with that. I've taken it out. It just
two are fixed, are they? And one
two are fixed, and one is just shocking. It just sits in, and the moment you move it, it falls out. And then the other is the weathering. I can't make my mind up if I like it or not. So I was going to do a bit to it yesterday, and I didn't in the end. I can't tell if I like the weathering or not.
Yeah,
it's only because you've got the dinks and the dents, and that's fine. And to be fair, then it's not terrible. It's just the rest of it is very clean. Like the actual material is very clean. So
the soft goods, you mean?
Yeah, all the soft goods are very clean and fresh, and And it's saying that even the paintwork on the armor is still very clean.
And you think maybe some of the raised edges need a bit more sort of chrome in them?
Yeah, just something, because it seems very intentional where now it's just me being ultra picky, but it seems very intentional where the damage is. And there's no general wear, if you get what I mean. It's all very like there's a dent here and a dent there.
No general sort of just scratching and scuffing and stuff like that.
Yeah. There's a few little bits, but nothing major. I mean, if this wasn't so expensive, I'd probably pick another one up and do him from like the end of episode 2.
Yeah.
Where he's like taped on that kind of beige plate on his leg, and the chest armor's a bit fucked. But I was looking at armor files as well to see if I could get the Mando, the Beskar look. But then all the soft goods are different on that version.
They are. Yeah, the tabard things are different colour, isn't it?
Yeah, and at this point in the game, it's just, well, I could print it, or I could just buy the best.
I think we've discussed this in length that, you know, if you want this look, get this one. If you want the Beskar look, wait for the Hot Toys one. It's going to be, you know, the best option, I think.
Although I think it would cost me a fortune in the long run, because after I couldn't have this on a Python and not have the Beskar one on a Python.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So it brings with its own problems, doesn't it? But,
yeah.
Cool.
But I'm loving it. It's by far my favourite figure. The little helmets, the little like fucked up helmet's cool. The stand's pretty good, although I'm not a big fan of them putting footprints and everything.
No. Well, it doesn't work. And obviously, the stand's fine, but I think he looks better in these dynamic poses, like the one in the bottom right there and stuff. You know, he's a gunslinger, he's a cowboy, and that's the kind of look that I'd go for. So in that case, the stand's no good because he's striding either side of that anyway. But
I mean, what I do want to print is the little container that the Beskar like bars go in.
Yeah, because there's
a few files.
Second one's coming with that, isn't it? The Hot Toys Beskar one comes with that.
Yeah, which I don't quite understand, because he never has it while he's wearing that armor.
No,
it should really come with. I mean, a little part of me wishes that he would put this armor back on at some point.
Yeah, for some reason. He loses the Beskar or something and has to put this back on.
Yeah, because I really like this armor. I do. Yeah. But yes, I think I am gonna have to get the Beskar as well.
I think it's difficult to choose. They're such a different look. I think, you know, you almost think like if you love the character that much, you got to have, or you wait and see what the season 2 one looks like, which is probably going to drop pretty soon for pre-order. So
exactly the same, but with because there's only one bit of armor plating that's different on that.
Yeah,
I don't mind printing that bit. It doesn't bother me.
No,
I just don't really want to print a full set. Because I just don't see the point.
No.
But yeah, that was my one pickup, and I'm loving it. It's just such a good figure. Love it. Absolutely.
Very cool.
Love it. Yeah. And then new releases. So we had 3 things that we noticed that were worth talking about. Here we go. It would be good character development if he got his back. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. Like an Iron Man 1 when Tony has to use his own reactor.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
because it just seemed he got that armor. I mean, we spoke about it when Dean was on. Like, it just seemed he got the Beskar stuff stupidly quickly.
Yeah.
When the payoff for that series was like, oh, here's your jetpack. When really, in my head, it would have been better if it was like, oh, here's the whole set of armor.
Yeah.
But you know, it's good. I like it.
It's bloody good.
So new releases, Pete. New releases.
Yes.
So this, I believe Steve is getting. I'm super jealous. This is the Red Man Toys, the mask. This is shipping imminently, like in the next week or so. And everywhere I have seen online, it was about now. I couldn't. Obviously, it's sold out pretty much everywhere. It was 150 quid plus postage. And for a set, I think it's really good.
Yeah.
You get a lot of stuff in there. I I mean, just look at the accessory tray.
Yeah,
that's a proper amount of accessories.
Definitely.
You get 2 heads, the wolf head and the regular one. You get the dog. You get all the bags of money. I'm actually liking the way they're giving you an oval stand, so the footprint's not massive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm liking this.
Is this a reissue of?
It is a knockoff.
Right, it's a knockoff. Okay, that's
fine.
It's
Redman Toys, isn't it? So
yeah,
I'm pretty sure. Actually, saying that, am I getting confused? Redman. Yes, yeah, it is Redman. They do the knockoff stuff, don't they? Yeah. So they've knocked it off somewhere.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
Normally their stuff looks a little bit janky, but I quite like this.
Yeah, it does look all right. We'll see what Steve's like when he gets it in hand.
Yeah, a little part of me is hoping he doesn't like it, so I can buy it off him.
Yeah, I know you said that because he's got the other one, hasn't he? That
he's got the Asmus. One of the biggest mistakes I made was someone offered me.
You don't need
two, Steve. Nah, someone offered me an Asmus one.
Really? Yeah.
And I went, nah.
How does that differ to this set? Is it?
You don't get as much, so you pretty much get the mask and a few other bits.
Yeah.
So what they did was they had a 2-pack. So you had the mask and Stanley Ipkiss in the pajamas.
Okay. Yeah.
And I was offered the 2-pack to trade with some figure that I can't even remember what it was. And I didn't, and I should have because it is a good set. And I like the mask. It was a good film growing up, and I don't mind branching out too much into that kind of general area. So kicking myself now, absolutely kicking myself. But yeah, so once Steve gets his, I'm going to be going, you don't like that, do you, Steve?
No.
You hate it. You hate it, Steve. Let me have it. Yeah. So, yes, that was that. And then there was So Toys Warhead, 105 quid plus shipping. I mean, it's pretty light on accessories, but
I thought that.
Because they could have given her a phone or something. But in general, I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, I think what more would you want? And it keeps the price really low. So, it's...
big, good accompany piece for Deadpool.
Yep.
But yeah, it's not offensive, that.
No.
Not offensive. And then this dropped today. We had the obligatory palette photo. So the 40th anniversary Vader, £290 plus shipping. I'm glad I have a Vader because 290 quid. I mean, although you get the cool stand, I'm just like,
yeah. Well, I was going to chat about this because I've got this pre-ordered with Toys by an Agent, second batch, and it worked out at about 190 something with the free shipping. Now, obviously, I don't know actually when second batch will be. Hopefully, it's good. It's going to be early next year, and hopefully maybe the ports will be a little less busy by then. It won't be too bad. But I've got a bit of a dilemma because I before I shifted my display around, my plan was to possibly eventually have 3 Vaders, so one from each of the 3 movies. I've got the A New Hope one, and some of you guys, you picked up the original release of this one.
Yep. It's one I've got.
Yeah, and
I've got a different sculpt on it now.
Yes, and I thought about it at the time, and I was put off a bit by you had to do quite a bit of work on the tusks and stuff, didn't you? Because they were a bit. Or did you not bother?
So I didn't bother.
To do with the alignment of them compared.
I think Dave did. So so the tusks don't point out. So along the side of Vader's helmet.
Yeah.
In fact, I can show you because I have spun here. Along the side of the helmet, you have, if I can show you, this line here that runs across the front. On the Hot Toys one, it gets to here, and then the tusk then goes and points down.
Points down,
Which, until someone pointed out to me, I didn't notice. And then once someone pointed out to me, that's all I could see. But luckily, Zach sent me over one of the Hasbro titanium domes. And
you sorted it out,
and what's the name of it? Zach, if you're in the chat, what's the name of the mask? I can never remember the name. It's an old model kit mask, but it's really accurate. And I think it looks better than the Hot Toys one. So I got that, painted it all up, and that's what's on mine.
Right, okay. Did you get rid of the original head, did you?
I sold. Now at the time I had Dittoffs, so I didn't have enough space for the stand, so I sold the base. Yeah, so actually saying I've ripped mine to bits. I sold the base, the sculpts, the chest box, the belt. Yeah.
And what did you swap those out for? Sideshow ones?
The sideshow ones.
Yeah.
And the nappy as well. So I took the nappy off of my old A New Hope one that I'd modified.
Yeah.
And put it on this because the nappies, Kyoto, that's it.
Yeah.
Kyoto even.
Yeah.
They're the best as far as I'm concerned. They look really good.
Yeah.
So I took the nappy off because the chest box on this is fucking massive. Like it's huge. But then it's also sewn on to the little like waistcoat.
Yeah.
Because the way it's the whole leather suit isn't a complete leather suit. You have a leather jumpsuit that's leather up to like the waist, and then from the shoulders down. Yeah. And then the actual bit, the chest box on, is a separate bit. So I sold that. Got hold of A New Hope chest like tunic bit, to cover that up, and I've done a fair bit to it in the end because it just didn't look right.
Yeah, so that's good, and so that's, you got the one Vader you could do that with. So I kind of, but as I've moved into the billies and done the display, I don't really have room for another Vader. So I think I'm going to keep the New Hope one. I mean, he's in my Jedi display, but to me, I'm not a diehard aficionado, and the only difference he's got is to really the first one you see is he's got a green light on his chest rather than a blue light, and from where I'm sitting, you can't see them anyway. So,
do you know what I'd probably do, Pete?
Yeah,
I would get it, open it up, look at the New Hope one, look at that, and go, what bits can I steal off of each?
Yeah,
to make a perfect, well, not a perfect, but a decent Vader.
Yeah.
Because I think there's bits on the New Hope one that aren't great, but you could look at them and go, okay, I'll sort the chest box, or I'll do this, or I'll do that. You could potentially come out with a really good Vader.
Yeah,
because the rest of the parts will go, and you'd make your money back.
I suppose if I could sell the rest of the parts, yeah. I mean, obviously, I already bought the Rogue One gloves for it. And everything. And a lot of people slate it, but I still really like it as a figure. I think it's all right, and I've got it in there.
The only difference between that and the Rogue One version was the gloves.
Yeah,
I literally had them to each other, and I was like,
okay,
gloves.
Like, and I've always had mine in the with the chest armor over the top. Anyway, so I'm not sure. As you say, I think when I get it, I'll have a look and I'll decide whether I want to kind of do a Frankenstein or whether I just move it on.
I mean, I regret getting rid of the stand on mine because at the time I didn't have the space for it, and now I've got.
And you've got the display cases, and you've got the DX07 Luke now.
Yeah,
back again. So obviously that's the perfect partner for that.
Yeah, exactly. But, exactly.
So it's undecided, and that'll probably be sort of early next year. I'll get that. So we'll see. So it might be going up for sale, or as you say, I might kind of try and do an ultimate Vader on it. So yeah, as you said, none of them are perfect. They've all got some kind of issue, and So, and I think I may just pass and then maybe look at picking up the eventual Jedi one, because obviously I've got a Vader, so I'm not, even if it's 5 years down the road.
I see. I think what they'll do is they will eventually release a Jedi one, and I think you'll get an unmasked sculpt, but I think it's going to be this exact same figure minus the stand. I think they give you a fancy new stand, they give you an unmasked sculpt to go with it, and it won't be any different. Yeah,
but there are differences, aren't there? But
not between Empire and Jedi.
It's very subtle, aren't they?
But it's hardly noticeable. The best thing I ever did was bought the Star Wars costumes book.
Yeah.
And you open it up, and there's loads on A New Hope. There's loads on Empire, and then there's like a footnote about Return of the Jedi.
It's basically everything just got ported over from Empire.
Basically, it's the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like that book because if I'm ever doing anything with any of my figures.
I've looked at it actually.
I get it out. It was on sale on Amazon for about 20 quid.
Because it's quite expensive. It's like 40, 50 quid, isn't it, full price? Yeah. That's probably what put me off. But it does look really nice.
Yeah, it gives you some really in-depth photos and up-close shots.
Yeah.
So like with Vader, when you're trying to figure out about his mask and stuff, it's not all the same color or texture.
Mm-hmm.
So it enables you to have a look and go, oh, actually, that's a hell of a lot more silver than I ever thought it was.
Yeah.
Because it's never really lit in the best lighting.
No.
So, but yeah, well worth picking the book up, mate.
Yeah, that's definitely one I want to have a look at. So yeah.
So that was pretty much the new releases, wasn't it?
Yeah.
3-4 things.
Mm-hmm.
Not too much. Upcoming was a little bit more tasty. So I think 2 days after the first episode of Series 2 of The Mandalorian dropped, we got a couple of previews. So we got Moff Gideon.
Yeah.
With no head, which worries me. Because they have a habit. Well, the thing is, they have a habit of not showing you the head to something and then it never turning up. So I'm a little bit like, oh, is this going to turn up?
Yeah.
I mean, I like the look of this so far.
Yeah.
Compared to against the premium format that we were showing off a little while ago.
Yeah.
And this is where I think figures have the advantage sometimes, because there's so much mixed media and everything isn't just blasted over at the end with a top coat. You get the real differences in textures and stuff like that. So I really, really like this. If it went up for pre-order, as long as the head sculpt was half decent,
I mean, there's some great head sculpts of him out there, so it shouldn't be hard. Shouldn't be hard to capture. It seems that he's got a very, he's got a kind of quite a distinctive face that seems to be quite, doesn't seem to be a problem for people to capture. So and obviously, no spoilers really, but obviously this dark saber is going to be quite a plot point in this series. So that's quite cool.
For sure. I'm looking forward to this, but again, I'm not holding my breath because
had this before. But I think it's encouraging that, I mean, the Mando is so popular at the moment that I think we're going to see a lot of figures, and as long as the series keeps going, I think people are going to want more and more figures. And they're the ones, obviously they've done really well with the first one. Pretty well, not the first. No, the Remnant came out first, didn't he? The Remnant Trooper.
Yes, Remnant came out first,
But they smashed it with Mando, so people are going to be quite positive that it's going to be a strong line. I think there'd be the Scout Trooper next, will it? They had the Death Trooper came out.
We've had Death Trooper
after Mando, didn't it? And then
Scout
might be the Scout next. So I've got one of those coming as well. So we'll see what.
I mean, I really like the Death Trooper as well.
Yeah, Death Trooper's cool.
Yeah, and then
I wasn't so fond of them in Rogue One, but I think having seen them in season 1 of Mando, I think they were cool.
They didn't really do much in Rogue One. They walked along the beach.
More menacing, yeah.
Yeah, and other than that, I didn't really see much of them.
No.
But I like some of this.
Yeah, I think the Shore Troopers were the ones that stood out in Rogue One, and that was reflected in the price that they still seem to go for.
You can't get those for love nor money. I've not seen a Shore Trooper on the groups for sale for probably about 8-9 months.
No. And when they do, they're like 400 quid.
Oh, big time. There's not much to them.
No.
If I'm going to start printing anything, I might as well start printing Shore Trooper armor.
Yeah,
there ain't a lot.
You got to start. You got one shoulder pad from Mando.
Yeah. True. Because that's all that is. Yeah.
Start from there. Yeah. I didn't really realise that until I heard someone mention it in the review, and I was like, oh yeah, it is actually.
Yeah. No, I didn't until you mentioned it.
Yeah.
But
So this one's interesting. Although worrying Tusken Raider, worrying that they're not showing the face on that, because
it's a mask.
What's the problem? It's not an actor's likeness that they're.
But they probably still need to have it approved. They probably just haven't got approval for it. Yeah. I mean, I'm liking it, and you can tell already it's got a hell of a fat suit on it.
Yeah, I'm liking it. I did have the sideshow one for a while, and it's quite an old figure, and it was okay. And I did a body swap on it. I think it already had a body swap, but there was just something about it that didn't quite work for me. I don't know whether it was just the. I mean, obviously the robes they have are meant to look old and battered, but the quality of it just felt a bit like it felt cheap. You know, and the gear was okay. But I think everyone's always been holding out for a Hot Toys one. And it's a kind of a shame that we're kind of having to compromise a bit with a Mando version rather than a New Hope version. And it may well be that the New Hope version comes many years down the line if they've got most of the gear for it. But there are differences. I mean, the color of the bandoliers and the belt are different because they're brown in New Hope rather than if you wanted to use it as a New Hope one, which the majority of people are going to want to do. And also the bandages. It's quite interesting because I heard someone say that obviously with the ones in the New Hope and the sideshow ones, the full robes came right down and sort of covered up the hands. But someone said that they probably did this look because they had all the dialogue and they use their hands a lot, don't they? So
so one of the guys playing a Tusken Raider was deaf.
Right. Okay.
And so they got him in to do the sign language.
Yeah, that's cool. So, and obviously this makes sense if they bound the arms so that you could see the arms more than them being covered up. But I think it could be easily modified to you know, and as you say, he's a tubby boy and he's bound to have a major fat suit, and that can come straight off because I never saw them as chunky boys eating loads of big, you know, bantha burgers and stuff.
Do you know, I was just about to say that, Quinn. So fresh and so clean. It would need a weather up.
Definitely. And
it is
and would you dare to actually go and start making holes and stuff in it? Because that's what it would really need, you know, and rubbing away some of it so it's kind of threadbare and stuff like that. You have to properly go
some fun with it.
Yeah.
But I mean, as a preview,
as
a preview, it looks all right.
Yeah, I think when it goes up, if it's reasonably priced, I might go in for a pre-order. You know,
I reckon it's going to sit around 250.
Yeah,
I reckon it'd probably be about 200 quid on Sideshow, 250 everywhere else.
Yeah, but it's not something that I desperately want because again, I haven't got.
Because you need two.
Yeah, that's what people say. You can't have them on their own.
See, if they were smart about it, you would release this as a DX 2-pack.
Yeah, that's big.
Like they should have done with the Jawas, really.
You make one slightly bigger, one slightly taller, one shorter.
Yeah.
Slight difference in the kit and everything, and you know, did the ones in Mando have the classic gaffy sticks?
The gaffy sticks. I thought I saw them, but I might be getting confused with.
That'd be horrible if it didn't come with that.
Yeah.
Because the rifle's not really again for if you want it for a New Hope, they don't really use the rifles at all. I don't think they use them in Phantom Menace when they're taking pops at the pod races, which I always thought was quite funny. But obviously in New Hope, it's all about the gaffy stick. But I say I'll have to go back and watch it because I don't remember whether I saw them or not in the in Mando.
No, there was just so much going on, so much to take in.
Yeah. But it'd be a bit of a travesty if they don't. I mean, I'm sure you can get a file to print them.
I've already had a look. You can.
Okay.
There's loads of files for gaffy sticks.
That's fine. Then I'll be coming to you for one of those if I end up getting one and it doesn't have one. But
Cool. Yeah, and then to the American guys, you probably haven't got a fucking clue what this is. Big Two Studios put up that they are going to have Captain Blue coming up for pre-order soon. They haven't got a price on it yet, but I wanted to include this because I secretly really want a Captain Scarlet.
Do you really see? I've never watched it. It's way before our time. Were you watching like reruns on a Saturday morning?
So when I was a kid, they reran Captain Scarlet and Thunderbirds because when I was a kid, it was all Blue Peter making Tracy Island and all that.
Yeah.
So all this kind of stuff had a big resurgence then.
Yeah.
So I was lucky enough to be young enough to watch all that when it was back on. Because I remember because they released a whole toy range. So I used to have a little Captain Scarlet, and you could get this little Mistron gun, right? And it was effectively a torch. Right?
Okay.
So you would fire it, and you get the 2 circles that would come up, and you could speak into the back of it and go, "This is the voice of the Mistron." It's fantastic. So this kind of stuff just takes me right the way back. I was probably more into Captain Scarlet than I was Thunderbirds.
Yeah.
Captain Scarlet was more my kind of thing. But yeah, and like Captain Black and all of that, I really liked it. So this is kind of a set that I wouldn't mind getting.
I think also, I mean, I don't know. Obviously, I've heard of Captain Scott, and I may have seen the odd episode, but I think they've got a real nostalgic look for me because they look very much like the Action Man, the original Action Man.
Well, the good thing about the good thing about these is they are meant to look like the puppets, and because it was a puppet show, it when we say like shrink ray, well, this is like on a whole new level because you are effectively buying a puppet. Because it's not that different.
No reason not to get it bang on.
No, exactly. And these look really, really good. So I'm very tempted, and I don't. But the problem is, I would have to get a couple.
Yeah. Because Captain Scarlet's been out a little while, hasn't he?
Years. It came out not long after Thunderbirds way back when. Yeah. And like I said, I think because of Thunderbirds had a resurgence. And like we said, Blue Peter were making, So over here in the UK, we've got a program called Blue Peter, and it's I don't really know how to describe it. It's like a weird. It's almost like a kids' news program, kind of. Yeah. And they would always make stuff, and every couple of weeks they would have something where each week they would make a little bit of something else, and then the following week they'd make a bit more. And obviously when Thunderbirds had a resurgence, the toy that everyone had to have was the Tracy Island. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Everyone had to have it. And they were stupidly expensive, hard to get hold of, but everyone wanted them. So Blue Peter went, we can make that out of paper mache. And
washing up bottles
and yogurt tops and all this. And to be fair on them, the one they made looks really good.
Yeah. Did you make it? Did you try and make it? We tried. We didn't get very far. So every week, too old by then to be making stuff, but I remember it was like a massive. It's like their most popular
big thing. Make
ever.
Yeah. So every week we'd record it and we try to make a bit more, and I think it ended up in the bin at some point because it just was too complicated. But so that kind of. There was a big resurgence in Thunderbirds, and then they started showing reruns of Captain Scarlet, and that took off. Stingray, all that kind of stuff was all back on the telly. And as a kid, I loved it because it was completely different. Because remember back then there was no CGI stuff, but apart from Toy Story, and that was very, very new. So when you had this actual puppet show on, it was completely different. Hadn't seen anything like it.
No, I used to watch Terrorhawks.
Yes, I remember Terrorhawks.
Loved that. That was brilliant. And again, it was just completely different, wasn't it?
And that's I think what got us all hooked. It was different to anything we'd seen.
Yeah. That's Big Chief Studios, right? Is it?
Yes. Yeah. So anything with a funky British vibe, Big Chief Studios make it. So they do a lot of the Doctor Who stuff. Yeah.
Sherlock Holmes. Yeah.
Yep. They were going to do the Gladiator.
Yeah.
But that got cancelled, so there wasn't enough people backing it. They do a lot of the Bond stuff because we were talking about last week. They do all that.
Yeah. That's great. The Bond stuff. Yeah.
They've gotten a lot better in recent years.
Yeah.
It used to be that their paint apps weren't very good. Like there were decent sculpts underneath everything.
Yeah, I had the original Tom Baker Doctor Who, and everything else was fantastic, but the sculpt was not great.
Yeah, I had the Matt Smith Doctor Who at one point, and the sculpt was really good, but the paint app was just awful. Really, really bad.
Yeah. So I think the Tom Baker one, actually, I didn't think the sculpt was. It was just something not right, and it came with two, because they did a grinning one and and neither of them quite worked for me. I think the new one looks better.
The new one's better, yeah. I think with those type of stuff, you had to go third party or custom for Tom Baker. I think Sean Dabb did a really good one.
John Pertwee looks incredible.
Yes,
that turns out like the pre-production pictures.
See, for me, again, like the Doctor Who when I was growing up was Sylvester McCoy.
Yeah.
So if I had a Sylvester McCoy and Ace in a heartbeat.
Yeah, and actually, their Colin Baker looks really good as well. But they do a good job with what they make themselves. I think they're very expensive for their reselling of hot toys and stuff like that.
They're an official partner or something like that. But every time I've gone on there, they are so expensive. So I don't bother.
No, but if you're buying their own stuff, Lauren Hardy, they do it really good as well. Yeah,
they're doing some really good stuff. They've come along quite a way.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for them to do Only Fools and Horses in 6 scale.
They're going to. I mean, they gave for the little shout out, didn't they?
Yeah, because they were doing the little bobbleheads.
That's it.
And I think it was an accident.
Yeah.
I don't think it was intentional.
No. Definitely not. We jumped on that. So that's your best bet for that, mate. Definitely.
Yeah. And then dragging us kicking and screaming back to present day, we got the Hot Toys Miles, 240 quid plus postage at Q1 Q2 2022.
Yep. And this is from the game again, is it?
Yeah, this is from the new game. Quite like it, to be fair. I think it was pretty good. Not a fan of some of the effects, but on the whole, it's pretty good.
And is it a dog he's got in his backpack or something?
Cat.
It's a cat. Okay.
Yeah. I haven't played the game. In the PS4 version, Miles is in it, but you don't find out he's been bitten until like the very end of the game.
So it's an exclusive for the PS5 reboot.
Yeah. So I mean, it looks good. I like Miles's suit. I've always liked it. I think the Miles Morales at the moment is very, very popular.
Zach loves him
big time. I mean, I can see why. He's a really good character. Into the Spider-Verse was fantastic. What you did, because you do play as Miles Morales in the PS4 one, but he's not got powers when you play as him.
Right.
So, and he's good in that as well. Like even when he doesn't have any. What we got here? Quinn. He looks good, but honestly, I'm not caught up in the hype. Yeah.
Oh, it's PS4 and 5.
PS4 and 5.
Maybe it was a DLC or something.
Yeah, it is. It's not a. So I think what they've done is if I've got this right, is they've released, effectively re-released the game as like a, what did they call it, like Legendary Edition or something?
With all the DLC packs. Yeah.
And then you get this. But I can't quite get. I think if you buy it on PS4 and then you get a PS5, you pay like a nominal fee and then it upgrades it to the new version, which isn't a bad way of doing it.
No,
hang on. Here we go, Quinn. The exclusives, if you buy the gold edition of the game and get the exclusive remaster of Spider-Man, that sounds far too complicated.
Yeah, I don't get that either. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter anyway, because we're not going to be anywhere near a PS5 personally in any time soon anyway. So
no, it's fucking irritating. It's the first time that a new console's come out and I haven't got it.
So they dropped a load more today, didn't they, or something for pre-order in the UK? I'm not really keeping up with it because I'm not really the market.
I mean, it still don't make any difference to me. I ain't got no money.
Well, that's the big problem. You haven't got 500 boys to drop on it. So
no, but I was thinking if I sell the Marvel stuff, I could pick one up.
Yeah.
I could pick it up and then trade in my PS4, and then get an Xbox at some point as well, because there's no point in just having one console. One percent comes out in the Xbox, I'm going to play that as well.
Yeah, you do have to. If you're a serious gamer, you've got to have both, because there's good enough exclusive titles on both systems to warrant having the and obviously be a new Halo coming.
It's funny because I've always said I'm not going to buy a PC. I'm not going to go into PC gaming because it costs too much and it's fucking like, no, I'm not doing that. And then I end up buying the 3 main consoles, and it's pretty much a subscription that goes with each.
Yeah, I still think it's a safe bet though, because that for the 7 or 8 years of the life of that console, that you'll be able to play every single game that ever comes out. Whereas the PC, you're going to have to be upgrading that graphics card every year.
Yeah, but it's all of it.
It's suddenly you've got a massive, great brick that will do fuck all.
Yeah.
Whereas you're buying, even I'd still think buying all 3 consoles is a better bet, because you'll never be not able.
It's horse. I was talking with my mate about it. It's horses for courses as well. Yeah. Like, if it's a console is a little bit more social for me. Like, you can sit on the sofa with your mates. I can sit on the sofa with my boy and play it. I can play it on my big TV. I'm not forced to use a monitor.
No.
It just seems, for me, it's just more comfortable.
Yeah.
I just like it. But yeah, anyway, figures. Yeah. Hot Toys, Miles, like it.
Yeah.
This I love. So Toys Nightwing, or the Night Vigilante as they call it. I love it. It looks great. It will set you back 115 quid, and it's shipping Q1 2021.
Bargain.
So January to March.
Yeah.
I think the sculpt is really good.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. I like the way it looks like the battens light up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's quite
yeah. Love it. And for 115 quid, it's nice.
That's giving it away these days.
Yeah, I mean, the suit reminds me very much of the Dark Knight suit.
Yeah.
It looks like someone's got a hold on and painted it, but I like it. I think it looks good.
Yeah, it does look good. Yeah.
So Toys are getting some mileage out of that stand, though, aren't they?
Definitely. I think we saw that.
Hot Toys,
to go in yellow. Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking, we've just seen that.
Look,
oh, there it is again. Yeah, there it is again. And I don't understand this. So Toys are doing the Blind Vigilante, 90 quid plus shipping, Q4 2021. Now,
but only 300.
Yeah, limited to 300. Now, I don't know anyone who still wants this.
No.
But don't get me wrong, I think it looks good.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know if that's 3 head sculpts or they've got like a split.
Yeah.
Yeah. Either way, I mean, either way, it's good. It's good value. 90 quid seems stupidly cheap.
Mm-hmm.
But again, you can limit it to 300. I don't know 300 people that want it.
No.
We got one. Quinn kind of wants it.
Yeah.
The thing is, if you'd asked me this a year ago, I would have bit your hand off. But now I'm just. It's kind of like Game of Thrones. Like, it was that long ago. I'm just not. I'm kind of over it.
Forgive my ignorance. This is from Daredevil, right?
Yeah.
And
it's a series from the Daredevil. This is pretty much like the Lucky Rock
original kind of version of his suit.
Yeah, like the homemade version.
Yeah.
He gets the proper red Daredevil suit towards the end of the first series, I think.
Yeah.
90 quid doesn't offend me.
No. I mean, it's
they floats your boat.
Yeah.
And then there's the 3-0 Game of Thrones Jaime Lannister. This is a series 7 look.
Yeah.
141 quid plus postage. Due out Q3 2021. Again, if this was out about a year ago, probably would have liked it a lot more than I do now. I'm just over.
Yeah, me too. And I think it looks great, and even the sculpt, it looks pretty good on the left. I think not straight on isn't as strong, but that's not a bad sculpt. and the armor stuff looks really nice.
Yeah, I mean they've done a good job.
They have.
Quinn's dodged a bullet. Where is it? I almost paid $900 for Scarlet one.
That's right. Yeah, I've seen those sets. Yeah. I think because I almost it's quite well known because I almost dabbled in some Game of Thrones, although I didn't like a lot of the stuff. I didn't think that the head sculpts were particularly strong. I quite liked the Brienne of Tarth. I was tempted to pick her up, and
the Hound's good.
Yeah, the Hound's brilliant. Yeah,
but it needs a repaint and a hair for it to be outstanding.
Yeah, and he was going for stupid money at one point. But he's not too bad. You can get for about 200. And I did have that new Jon Snow on pre-order because I bought that the Nuts Pits sculpt, and that's really good. But I think, along with a lot of people, that final series just really took the shine off of what was an amazing journey kind of thing. And all of a sudden I was like, you know what, I'm not really that interested. And that's ultimately what got me banned from TNS figures. I sold the pre-order on, and then apparently the guy bailed on it and didn't end up paying the invoice. So apparently that means that you both
that's your fault. That's all your fault, Pete.
Yeah, I know.
All your fault.
Yeah.
The thing about that that's a bit naughty is the fact that they agreed.
Yeah.
Like when you know, and then fucked you off.
Exactly, and they've always been like that. They've always been ruthless. If you pay an NID, and if you ever cancel one, then you're banned for life. And I think they've always been really upfront about that. But the fact is, it's not me that bailed on it. You know, he took it over. They had the deposit. They should have banned him. No issue with that. But I only found out when I tried to order the Rambo figure, and they kept cancelling my order. So I called him out, and I went, "Oh yeah," and I was like, "Really?"
Yeah, it's not your fault.
No, anyway, I digress. But I really like this, but it's not something I'd be picking up.
See, I was thinking with Game of Thrones, like I wouldn't mind going back and rewatching it, but the last series left such a sour taste in my mouth. I don't want to
shine off, doesn't it? Because some of the I rewatched the first series when they brought it out in 4K. Obviously, you can get more 4K discs, and I love it. I love the mystery and the intrigue of it, and where you're getting snippets of what's happened, and but then you contrast that with season 8, and you think, how could they ruin such an amazing series?
I mean, you could tell it was rushed because within like 3 episodes, a lot of things are wrapped up, and you're like, well, hang on, why was this so difficult? The 7 series,
and if you watch the first series, very little happens, but it's brilliant because of the characters and the slow burn of it. And as you say, it's just completely the opposite in that last season. And I think, all right, we don't get to decide what happens to these characters because they're not our creations. But I think very few of the characters actually got the ending that people would have liked. Like for Jamie to go back to his sister.
Any character development was just kind of knocked out of the park.
Exactly.
Not knocked out of the park, but just dead.
Because he'd really developed as a character. I think he was really good. And he just kind of reverted to type again. Daenerys just turned into a crazy fucking, mad woman. So it's a shame because I did love it. But I think, even if I'd got some figures already, I think I'd have offloaded them by now.
Yeah, me too. I mean, it's a shame.
Yeah, it is a shame.
But I think there's some stuff that's coming out that's just way too late in the day. Yeah. It's like a lot of this Marvel stuff. So this I like this. So
this just dropped today or yesterday.
It was this morning. Woke up to it. So this is the Hot Toys Marvel Zombies Deadpool, £250 at Q4 2021. To Q1 2022. I'm tempted to pick one up just for the Ninja Squirrel. And then throw the rest of it away because, as you may not be aware, the Ninja Squirrel is our official mascot here at OFAC.
He's also our official nemesis.
No, we love him.
We love him.
We love him. He keeps us going. He keeps us honest.
Yeah,
he fucking keeps us honest. But so this Deadpool I really like. And just as I'm about to kind of fuck all my Marvel stuff off, they drop this. And I really like the kind of him stepping out of the box, the comic frame is really good.
That's really good. And this is bound to be the first of several as well. But
I hope so.
That squirrel is fucking amazing.
I mean, they venomized enough shit. Now I'm hoping they zombify a lot of stuff.
Everything. Yeah, no, I think it's great. Yeah.
If you paired this up with the zombified Iron Man from Far From Home, that would look really good.
Yeah. And we weren't too keen on that, but I think
well, now you've got something to put it with. I mean, to be honest, it was way too expensive anyway. But now you've got something you compare it with, and it won't look too odd.
And I think it works perfect with Deadpool because he's got that real comical feel to him. So you've got some really zany kind of. But it looks like you get quite a lot for your money as well.
You get a lot here, yeah.
Which is kind of unusual these days. So I think value wise, if it's something you like, it looks really good. And that comic book frame looks brilliant.
Yeah. I mean, we've been saying that we can't have a go at Hot Toys for not producing some, for having a go at them for years. For all they did was the same Marvel and Star Wars stuff. I really thought that once the Marvel world had dried up, that we would just start to see reissues.
Yeah, because
they're different.
Because they're still predicting they're going to reissue all the original Avengers.
Yeah. So I thought we were going to see all of that, and we were going to get die-cast versions of all the plastic Iron Men, which they started to do bits of. And I just thought we were going to start to see version 2.0s of stuff, just to fill that void.
Yeah.
I think they dipped their toes in with Venom, and they've kind of gone, didn't work too well. So now they've moved on because the Marvel Legends of these sell quite well.
Yeah.
So I think we start to see a lot more. And I'm glad. I would probably get a few of these.
It's different enough. And if they do a Cap and a Spidey and stuff like that, I think it'd be really cool.
Yeah, I do. I think this is really good. So yeah, I'm tempted. That
was it.
That was it.
Yeah.
That was it for upcoming releases, which wasn't too bad. We did.
No.
There was more on that than I thought we were gonna have, if I'm honest.
Yeah. We've got some good chat out of that.
Yeah, and then so today in Dear Old Blighty, the PS5 launched. Like we said not long ago, it's probably the first time I haven't got a new console, which is a bit upsetting. And then the Xbox has also launched, the Xbox Series X, which is launched in the States. I'm not quite sure if it's out over here yet.
No.
Needless to say, there's been a few issues with both of them, I think.
Yeah.
I think from what I read, there was a glitch with the PS5 that pretty much bricked it.
Yeah.
And with the Xbox, they effectively turned into chimneys, and lots of smoke was billowing out the top of some of them.
Oh, great! That's what all those vents are at the top. Let the smoke out.
That's exactly what was happening. It was just pissing out the top. There's videos where it's just
really.
So I like consoles. Consoles are my bag. I like them. And no matter, I've had pretty much every console going. And I normally get them at launch. So my PS3, I probably had 3 or 4 versions of that. And the first launch one was the big silver. Yeah. So not big silver, the big shiny black PS3. And that was plagued with issues. That had problems. The first version of every console always does. So I don't see the logic when people go, "Wow, I'm just not going to get one for a couple of years. Let them iron out the bugs." Well, okay, fine, but that's up to you, and that's not really any benefit. Like,
no,
I don't get that. Don't get that train of thought.
Most of the software-based bugs will get sorted pretty quickly.
Yeah.
It's just that it needs to get out there in the wild for them to. They can only cover so much testing, can't you? Really?
Yeah.
So you accept that if you buy day one, that you are going to be a bit of a beta tester for.
But to be fair, you're covered under warranties and whatnot, so you're never going to be left. It's going to be annoying if shit goes wrong.
Yeah.
Now, I've had to send consoles back to Sony before. I think one of my PS4's disk drive completely just didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to send it back, and it was out of warranty, so I'd send it back to Sony, and they were pretty good, to be fair. They posted me out a box that unfolded. I popped my PlayStation in it, gave that to a courier who then handed me a brand spanking new PlayStation. What more do I want?
Yeah.
So, and then my Xboxes, my 360, I think when you had it standing up, it would vibrate and it would score the disc. So,
right. Yeah. See, I've never had any of my consoles standing up, so maybe I've been all right that way. But yeah. No, I mean, I'd like a PS5 at some point, but I'm an older gentleman now. I'm 45, and I generally don't have the same desire that I used to have to play games. That's without question. Not that I wouldn't if I had, the time. I'd still like games and consoles and stuff. But obviously my interest in these will depend on my boy's interest in them. He's 10. He's all about the Switch at the moment. So these are kind of like probably still a couple of years beyond what he's playing, but it's going to come, and that'll be the point at which I probably jump on board with one or the other, and get involved with that and play with him, and then he'll be like, "Fuck off, Dad! I want to play it on my own now." So I won't be dabbling with them for a while, but I think it'll be coming, because obviously these are going to be with us for 7-8 years, which is a normal kind of thing. So
I feel Mark's playing time is the biggest issue.
Yeah, definitely. It'd be like,
I don't get anywhere near the amount of time I used to.
No, and it's like 11 o'clock at night, and you're knackered.
Yeah,
you're like, just can't be bothered. Just going to stick something on the telly.
I probably play more of my Xbox with my son than I do. I don't think my PS4 Pro I haven't turned on in about 3 months. My Xbox, in fact, I've even cancelled my PlayStation Plus subscription.
Yeah.
I pretty much now play the Xbox constantly with my boy.
Yeah.
And I downloaded, so I signed up for Games Pass Ultimate, and it's paid for itself about 10 times over.
Yeah, I've got a mate that says it's amazing.
And they've just added, because they bought EA Games, Microsoft, they added from the 1st of November, do you know the Origins streaming service that EA had? They've added that as well.
All right, cool.
So they've just put on all the Mass Effects. There's the Fight Night game that Zach was on about a few months back. That's on there. They've added on the Titanfall games. There's loads of stuff. Now the catalogue has jumped, and I'm like, for me and my boy, it's fantastic because you can go on there, just download games. And there's Quinn says all the UFC games as well. We can go on, just download games and play them, and we get to play it together. But then there's a downside to that, is that I play a lot of younger type games because of him, which is fine. Like, it's good that we can play them together, but it now means that instead of just buying one controller, I now have to buy 2 controllers.
Yeah, and they're like,
controls are about 50 quid each.
Yeah, I know. Because I've still only got one controller for my PS4 and my Xbox. Although the Xbox is pretty much just a 4K Blu-ray player. But we play a lot of Switch, which is good. But as you say, it's a certain kind of game. We play a lot of Mario Kart, and although actually, if we finish chatting about these for a bit, I was just going to mention that has your boy downloaded the Star Wars Minecraft?
No,
it's brilliant.
Is it really good?
It dropped last week. It's only like £5. I think it's great. I've never had any inclination to play Minecraft. He's always like, "Oh, do you want to play?"
My boy loves it.
He plays on his own for hours, and I'm like, "I'm not really." And as soon as the Star Wars one, I'm like, "Right, can I play?"
So I used to be exactly the same, and all my boy ever used to do was play creative on there. And I said, I'll play with you, but we're doing survival.
Yeah.
And now we have this survival map that we only play together.
Okay.
And we've built this massive castle. We've dug deep into the ground. We've now crafted stuff. We've got armor sets and all this kind of stuff. And it's been really fun playing with him like that, because he watches all the videos, so he knows exactly how everything works.
Yeah, my boy does, yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, come over here, we can mine this, and we can do this, and here you go, Daddy, here's another sword, and here's a pickaxe, and this, that, and the other.
To make things move and
all that kind of stuff, yeah. So, you know, when it was just creative, and you just make whatever you want, and it's great, and you really get to see their imagination flourish.
Yeah, that's what he does. That's what my boy mostly does.
But playing survival with him, it's been really fun, like really, really good.
Yeah,
so it's worth sticking on survival and playing with him. Because
maybe I'll try and push him into it. But the Star Wars is brilliant. You've got all the ships. You got the Falcon. You can walk around the Falcon. They got Razor Crest in there, and it's worth for £5. And you could be the Mando and stuff like that. It's got all the proper sound effects and music, and you've got the Mando music playing in the background. It's really cool. So give it a go if you.
I bought because we've got Minecraft on the Xbox, and then I bought him because every year at work we would get 20 quid's worth of vouchers to spend in any of the shops at the airport.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, there's not really much I want. I think I went into like Dixon's duty free, and I bought Minecraft for him on Switch.
Yeah.
I thought because he can take that out and about, and that came with like a Mario add-on.
Yeah,
and that was that was really good.
That's good.
Yeah, that was really, really good. Because now they've, but now you can stream from your Xbox to your iPad.
Okay.
So the other night when we wanted the telly, I could set him up, play him. He could carry on playing Minecraft or Plants vs Zombies or whatever on my iPad with the Xbox controller.
Really good. Oh, with the controller, brilliant.
Yeah. You just because they're all Bluetooth, you just sync it to the iPad.
That's excellent.
Yeah. So there's some new features.
It kind of loses the need to have a Switch if you want to go handheld now. If you've got an iPad. Yeah. That's really good.
I'm not sure how good it'd be outside the house though.
No, I suppose not, because it's still got to sync to the actual system, hasn't it? So Mark says he'd give it a go there. I would for £5. I had a buddy job downloading it, and he kept telling me I didn't have any space, and I'm like, well, it's like 7 gig of space on the Switch, but I think it's because he had too many worlds. I just went and deleted some of his old worlds, and bang, it came down.
Yeah, I mean, I've noticed that on the Xbox. My boy just makes world after world after world.
Yeah,
and a lot of them are exactly the same.
Yeah, and you're like, do you actually know what that one is? Are you ever going to go back to that one?
Yeah.
The only thing I hate about Minecraft, and I don't know if it's the Switch or in particular, the draw distance is terrible.
Yeah, that's the Switch. It's way better on the Xbox.
Yeah, because it's
even better on the PC.
And it's just black, and then all of a sudden, like the next bit will pop in.
Yeah, like, the draw distance I noticed on the Switch version was fucking appalling. It's really bad.
Yeah, it's a shame.
On the Xbox.
It's good fun. Apparently, Baby Yoda's in there somewhere. We haven't found him yet, but
he's hiding away somewhere.
Yeah.
So group shenanigans. So we were invited on to a 6-scale collectors chat by a fellow called Mr. Lee Ward, who's a UK retailer over here. Really nice bloke. We are going to get him on the show New Year's Eve, I believe.
Pre-recorded.
Yeah, it's pre-recorded. So if he's listening, don't have a heart attack. We're not going to make you come on New Year's Eve. We're going to pre-record one. Not because we have social lives and we will be out partying the night away, purely because we know that come 10, 11 o'clock on New Year's, internet is just going to be absolutely fucking horrendous. So we thought we'd pre-record it and give ourselves a night off. So this chat,
the Good, the Bad, and the Robots.
Yes, yeah. So he runs a website called The Good, the Bad, and the Robots, and you may have seen him on Keith Lemming's Doings. He's on that sometimes because he supplies him cool toys and stuff. So he does every now and again, maybe once a month, this massive Zoom call, and on the Zoom call, there's loads of different people from the UK who are quite big in the 1/6 scale community. They're all people that I've spoke to a few times here and there, had dealings with, or have seen them about. So there was Craig Grant was on there, who parts out figures over here in the UK. Dean Gladwell, who we've had on before with backdrops and bases. Kevin, who I had only ever heard Dean speak of, finally put a name to a face.
Yeah, I've got a friend
who designs all the stuff.
The next day, so he's on my friends list now.
Yeah, same here. Yeah. Duncan Bowles, who works for the who I'd seen about countless times, but never really spoke to. Really nice guy. He works for the Den of Geek.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I've done a lot of indie trades and bits with him, so I know him. It was nice to see get to meet him.
Yeah, so there was Joe Turner as well. He popped on there, who does decals for bases and stuff in the UK. Really, really good bunch of guys on there. I think it was only meant to be a couple of hours, and I think it was about midnight by the time.
Yeah, about 5 hours. And some people were very inebriated by the end.
Yes, I mean, it was a good laugh. It was good. Oh, and Andy
Aitchison.
That's it. Yeah, I'm shit with names. From
studios.
And from what's his YouTube channel? It's into my head in now.
I can't think.
I can picture the symbol. It's like a Spartan helmet.
Yeah. You got
it'll come to me later anyway. Yeah. But he was the guy who we spoke about a while ago, who did the is it They Live, the board game with the sunglasses?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so we did all that, and he showed us a few bits that they're working on, a few little sneak peeks, which we're probably not allowed to tell you about. But
no, it's all. I'm actually helping him out with something on that bit of leather work following that conversation, which was really good. Nice. Lee to kind of big up what we do in the custom world as well. Yeah, so I'm going to try and help him out just with something for him to send to the manufacturer in China to kind of give them an idea of what they're looking for, which is good.
Yeah. No, perfect. Yes, it was really good. It was because other than Pete, I don't really talk to many people about figures, so it was a really, really good.
Yeah, we got about 40 minutes, didn't we? We chatted away, and some had heard of us, some hadn't, and we got a couple of extra subs out of that, I think, on the night. So that was really good. And obviously we'll return the favour with Lee. We're gonna do a little interview with him, find out, how it works being a kind of a UK seller of hot toys and bits and pieces, and just have a lot of chat about his collection and what he's into and that as well.
Yeah, Lee's a really good guy. I've dealt with him on and off for a while now, and he's a really nice guy. He's one of the best. Well, if in all honesty, he's probably the best UK retailer. Yeah. He's very, very good. In fact, my Mighty McFly I bought off of him. He's still sitting here looking at me in my display case.
Oh, you got it from him? Yeah, I don't think I've ever bought a new figure, but I did buy when I originally bought the Snow Speeder Luke, the sideshow one. That was his. He had one left, and I picked that up. But I think you can trust him because he's very active in the groups as a collector as well. Yeah, so he's not going to fuck you over because he's very well, he's involved with it all. I think some of the others are a bit more distant, and you haven't got that direct communication with them that you'd have with Lee.
Definitely. Yeah, he's really good. And if you are in the UK and you ever do want anything, just give him a shout. If he's got it in stock, he's a great guy. He's really good.
Definitely.
So that was a laugh. It was a real, and I think they were talking about doing them maybe monthly. Which would be great to get on that again because it was a laugh. It was very, very good.
How long did you stay on there for?
Right the way up till midnight.
Did you really? Fucking hell.
Yeah. I mean, it was
crucified if I'd done that.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, because I kind of shut myself off from the rest of the house, it's not too bad. Although my missus had to come down a couple of times and kind of knock on the door and go, "Shut the fuck up! You've been too loud."
Yeah, I get
You're
that.
laughing too much. I was like, "Oh, right."
So
the sound of joy just cuts through some people like a knife.
Exactly. He's like, "Oh, you were laughing a lot." Yeah, I was having fun. You know,
having fun, weren't you, you bastard?
So maybe next time I'll sound a bit longer, but I was a bit like, it's Saturday night. Is it all right if I? And then I thought I'd get off. But yeah, it was good for I enjoyed when I was on. I enjoyed listening to Michael Crawford as well because I've always been a massive fan of his review.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know why I didn't mention him. Yeah, Michael Crawford came on as well from MCW Toys.
One of the probably the biggest kind of awards for figures. That's been around a long time, and I always make sure I vote in that. A bit like the Collected Weekly ones. Occasionally, there's a category, and I'm like, I've got no idea. I've not heard of any of them. But yeah, Michael's great.
Yeah, I mean, it was really interesting how he was talking about the different toy companies and the experiences he's had with them and the dealings he's had, and yeah, it was really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I think they're the best reviews, and as I said to him, I wanted to thank him because whenever I've gone to buy an older Hot Toys figure, that were possibly out before I even started collecting.
Yeah,
they're a bit of a mixed bag, and you don't really know. You know that the quality is not going to be kind of up to modern standards, but to go and read his reviews, they're so in depth, like of the original, like the Colonial Marines, things like that. You can get a really good sense of whether you're buying an absolute.
He was the first person to really break down figures to lightness, paint, tailoring, to score each section kind of individually. So his reviews are really
great
good.
Photos and poses, and if you've read one of his reviews and you can't make your mind up after that, then there's something wrong. You're going to know whether you want that figure or not. So that was really good. That's really nice. So we'll have Lee on. Hopefully we'll try and sort that out for the next few weeks on one of our off Thursdays or something. And just find out what your schedule's like. Get that in the can, as it were.
Get that nailed in.
Yep. So that look forward to that.
Yeah, so it's that time of the show again, where we're going to thank Watto Scrapyard for all the awesome things he does for us. He sponsors us. He puts out 1/6 scale head sculpts. He does them in 1/12. He does Kenner parts. Honestly, barring coming around and making you a cup of tea, he does everything. His sculpts are fantastic. I've got quite a few I'm doing at the moment that he sent me a big old box full. And they're fantastic. Like his animated stuff is just fantastic. Absolutely kills it.
Do you know what I'm thinking? Do you think we should have a go at the Watto Scrapyard? Because it seems like everyone's trying to pick a piece out of Dean on this.
It does.
Did you hear Raiders' effort?
I didn't hear Raiders. No, they were talking about it today, and I didn't hear it.
But I think Dean's still got it.
That was probably the politest way of saying it was shit.
I'll give it a go.
Go on, then.
Hey, it's Watto Scrapyard, Annie.
Didn't know what I was Mexican, but fine.
The Annie was bad.
It's so easy to slip into like a Mexican accent.
Yeah.
I don't know. Should I try it? Is it going to be any good? I don't know. I'll give it a go. I thought I could get up for it now. The pressure.
Yep.
It's immense. Hey, Watto Scrapyard. What else did he say? That was Mexican.
Annie?
That was proper Mexican.
Annie? It's where he goes up high at the end. I can't. Annie? No.
It's me, Watto Scrapyard. Annie? Is that it? Is that any good?
It's not bad. It's all right.
I don't know.
I know who you were being. If
Other than Terry Tibbs and possibly a really crap Dr. Evil, there's not really much I can do in terms of voice. So anyone in America, Google phone jacker Terry Tibbs. It is by far
hear it now. Come on.
Funniest thing. I'll tell you what, I got 5 of the finest Siberian prostitutes you've ever seen in your life. He talks all like that. So the idea of phone jacking was like my favorite program in the world was that this guy would take out ads like in Sunday papers and shit like that. And he would either have people phone him up he would put fake ads in, and people would phone him up, and he'd wind them up, or he would go through, and he would look at so like someone would be selling like mahogany sideboard or something, and he would phone up and pretend to be these different people, and it was just fantastic. It was the best thing I've ever seen. He did one guy called George Aguengo, and he would phone up and he would try and get your bank details off you, but the stuff he would come out with. So he found one bloke up and he went, "We have a cleaner in your vault. He was cleaning your monies, and a pigeon has flown in and set the sensors off. He is now stuck in the vault. I need your bank account details and sort code to open the vault." And the bloke's going, "No, I'm not fucking giving you them." He's going, "But he will die." He's going, "No, I'm not fucking giving you them." It's fucking brilliant. Like, the pigeon is stuck in your vault. It's so good. But yeah.
We'll wait and see what Dean has to say about those. I think he's probably still got it, but
I think it's safe to say that Dean has got that. He has got that gig, and he's going to keep it.
Definitely, yeah. But
because we've just taken 10 minutes just to butcher it.
Yeah. I felt it was right to give it a go, but I think Dean will be comfortable that he's still the man for that job.
Yeah, I think so. I think he does all right.
Yeah.
So, collecting weekly awards. Are we not done with this yet? Is it not?
No,
time?
To the 1st of December.
1st of December to get your votes in.
Yeah, we've talked about it, but go on to Collecting Weekly Auxiliary, and there'll be a pinned post at the top. Get your votes in, and then so basically you're nominating your candidates for each category, and then I think we as a group then chat about how to cut that down to the best 5 or 6. I mean, mostly it'll be on number of votes, but obviously if it's close towards the bottom end, then we might have to make a decision on that. But yeah, there's some strong contenders this year. I mean, Mando is definitely got to be the forerunner for 1/6 and Figure of the Year, I would have thought.
I'd be amazed if it didn't get Figure of the Year at least.
Yeah.
I would be amazed.
Definitely.
I think it's fucking fantastic.
I think it's a shoo-in, but yeah, so get on board with that. That's always good fun. That's a fun show when they go through the awards and stuff. And Zach does the proper thing with the gold envelopes, doesn't he? And
he
goes to town on it, spends a fortune.
He absolutely fucking loves it, doesn't he? He loves it.
He wears a tux as well, I think.
He does, doesn't he? He gets proper. He gets well into it, proper into it,
very seriously.
Probably way more into it than most would, but he loves it, doesn't he? He really does. He loves it. Keeps him out of trouble, though, doesn't it?
Yeah. So make a man happy and get your nominations in for that. All right. You want me to take away these?
Yeah, go on. Because I'll go through and probably butcher everyone's name.
Yeah. Again, apparently Rayner's now the king for this. The boys are in stitches when he was reading these through. So we'd like to thank our Patreonies for their continued support of our network. Your contributions are very welcome, very grateful for those in terms of us being able to kind of bring the equipment that we use up to scratch for this. So we've got Ben Porter, Griffin Campbell, Sean Fear, Ian Seaby, Rene Mendez, Eric Mariscal, Quinn Aguirre, Leo Hernandez, King Louis, Mark Pearson, Dan Lee, Dinny Martin, Stephen Crett, Jason Nelson, Big Fern, King Zachary V, Cesar Mariquin, Eddie Mendez, Eric Ruiz, Mario Cortez, Stephen Percher, Sean Yahtzee, Scott Bradley, Jesse Contreras, Stephen Maria Stanley, and Lord Voldemort, who I'm reliably informed is a tortoise.
Fair enough.
Who obviously has some kind of financial income and is able to contribute to the network. So thank you very much for that.
Some fucking like prostitute tortoise or something. Me in the shell.
So if you'd like to join the the Patreon. We've got 3 tiers. Sweet Angel is it's in American funny money, so I won't bother.
Yeah, you have to forgive us for that.
Slightly less than these figures if you pay in pounds. So Sweet Angel, £5 per month. Sticker sent straight to your door, as well as access to Ox After Dark replay, because that it goes out live and then it's kind of culled from YouTube shortly after that. But if you're a patron, you can get access to that. Certified Crispy, you get the Crispy certificate signed by Dean and Zach. Scissors for Figure Fixes by Zach. All the benefits of the previous tier, so you're going to get the swag. And then we have a new tier, which is the $25 a month. CW, what a guy! And that is I don't know if they've got the poster yet, but there's a Sign Collecting Weekly Live silhouette poster. I think it's like the one they've got of Zach and Dean that's on Zach's wall. Doubles of all the stickers, so you can give one to a friend. Ian will paint a sculpt for you. You provide the sculpt. You pay for shipping each way, and
an import if you're unlucky enough to get stuck with it.
Yeah, exactly. Ian will do a fantastic paint job on that for you, and that's one a year. So obviously, once you cash that in, Ian will make a note of that, and obviously, I guess once a year passes, then you can have another one.
Because that's a new tier, what I've done is I have everyone who was on the list who used to be on the top tier last month. So you've got like a couple of months to cash it in before it reset and go onto the top tier.
Yeah. We felt that was right to move that into the top tier. But as you say, if they can get in the next couple of months, we don't want to penalise those people that were paying into the Certified Crispy with that as a one of the perks that they would like to make use of. So get they just message you directly, do they?
Yeah, just drop us a message. Let us know that you're on there. Just screen grab the Patreon bit with what tier you're on, and and it should tell you when you signed up as well. So just send us that, and we go. We're good.
Excellent. And this is what is going out in December. So I think have we got these in our swag that
we have the window cling ones apparently.
Okay,
So next week I will go into these in far more detail, but I have a box of tricks here. And in here we have, that's a window cling apparently.
Yeah, so it's like a vinyl sticker, but it doesn't have any adhesive on, and it will stick to the. It's like the ones you get for cars.
That's the best one. That's the one you want. Is the OFAC one.
Yeah.
The rest of it's shit. I wouldn't bother with, but the OFAC stuff's fantastic.
But the window cling.
Look at this as well.
Yeah.
Right. Look at this. Look how many cards.
Oh my god. Nice.
I mean, they're very nice.
What are you going to do with
a lot of them? But
have you got many wonky chairs and tables in your house? You can stick one of them under.
Fucking my house is shit. I can stick them under everything. Yeah, we got quite a lot in here actually. See, the new this week stand stickers. That's cool. We've got. So I'll stop rustling that about because that's probably fucking irritating for everyone at home. But he wanted us to do an unboxing. Live and Let Dice. We got a few of them.
Yep.
Some more of the original OFAC ones, the classic ones, the small talk ones. We have the I Quit the Show stickers as well, which are in.
I was threatened to quit the show when you talked about Mando, but I manned up. I'm a professional.
You did. You got over it.
Yeah, I did get over it. Yeah.
I was like, I can't fucking believe that's turned up before Pete.
Yeah.
And I managed to do the mod as well. There you go. That's that one.
Yeah,
a window cling. He was telling me how I think you take it off the front or something. And
it's I think it'll fit. It'll go on the inside or outside of glass, and it's one of those ones you can just peel off and re-stick, and it's kind of like works on surface tension, I think.
Yeah.
You get a Detective Dean button. I don't know the story behind Detective Dean. Do you?
No, but Detective Dean's button sounds rather too sexual for my liking.
Yeah. I know maybe some sort of private investigator in his spare time.
I knew he was a private dancer, a dancer for money, but other than that, I wasn't sure about the detective bit.
You can do anything that you want.
Yeah.
And then we've got TBA Christmas card and holiday sticker. So yeah. Happy holidays.
Yeah, if you want to go on American on us, Pete. Merry Christmas. That's what we say over here.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
Yeah, been hanging around with the Americans too long. Fucking happy holidays.
Yeah. And there we are. Final slide.
Yeah. So on our little network, which isn't so little anymore, we got a fair bit going on. We got Auction, which I think they had one the other week, didn't they?
Yeah, just last week, yeah.
Think of it as a virtual car boot. Everyone sells their shit. So they sold a fair bit on that, to be fair.
Yeah, so yeah, they did. They does quite well. You get some. I mean, it's mainly for guys in the States, but I think there's been some good bargains on there.
Yeah, for sure. I think the first one they did, there was some really good bargains on there. And then you got Collecting Weekly, which is the worst show on the network. To be fair, you don't worry about them.
I find with them, it's all about quantity and not quality. Just because they're on the air every day doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, that guy's a bit annoying as well. Like, yeah,
finicky about everything.
We love him though.
Yeah, we love him.
We do. He's our boy. We love him. And then we got Collecting Rarities with Rainer. That's the rarer side of collecting. So
Jack did a good little bit on watches, which is quite interesting.
Yeah, and then he done another little bit on his butt plug collection.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, he just had them all lined up on the windowsill from from the tiny little till it's the little button, which I think they're giving away.
Detective
December's one, all the way up to the Black Mamba. So he an arsehole like a clown's pocket by the end of it. Apparently,
that's why he needs that bidet.
Yeah. Well, apparently, farts. It sounds like a foghorn. It just goes. Hoo-hoo. But I digress. And then we've got Small Talk, which is he's killing it at the moment. It was just him on his.
Yeah, I felt really bad because I was on the show before and I was all set. I said I'll go on the next one, but I don't know what's happened. But whether it's to do with when our clocks changed, but we're now 6 hours difference again. So it didn't start till midnight. I can't do that because last time I started at 11 and it
was about 11. Yeah,
that's fine. But I said I'm really sorry, mate. I can't start at 12. That's too late. But luckily Zach jumped in. I felt really bad for Dylan, but he did really well.
Now the clocks have changed. It's fucked us up when we try and do anything with them.
Yeah,
it's balls us right up. So so Dylan, to be fair, he's killing it at the moment.
Yeah.
He's like, thank you, Ryan. We all know this is the best show.
Top man.
Have a word with Ninja Squirrel. We don't think so. And then we got The Joy of Hobbying, which is Zach tinkering. He did that Mando strip down, which to be fair was a really good video. Informative, got to the point, didn't fuck about. That's why we like him. We got The Jewel in the Crown, as I say every week. Only Fools and Collecting, us. The reason why everyone's here, if we're honest. And then we got Collecting Comics, who oddly enough is all about comics. After Dark, which is more naughty shenanigans with Zach. And then we got Creeps R Us with Manny, which is the creepier side of life, really. That's the network, boys. It's getting there.
Yeah,
it's getting there.
Good content. I think we just passed 550 subs on YouTube last week, which is really good. Pushing for that 1,000. I know Zach's really keen on that because that allows us to do different things, I think, doesn't it? If we can get to 1,000 subs.
Something like that. I'm not sure how it all works, to be honest.
No,
he just tells us what to do, and I'll go, all right, fine.
Yeah. We just carry on doing the same old shit, and hopefully.
I'd honestly 30 episodes, and this is, it's almost like we've learned nothing. So bad, but it keeps us out of trouble on a wet and windy Thursday night.
Yeah, so, I'm sure we give a few people a laugh. So and we ultimately we always say we do it because we enjoy it. So if anybody else enjoys it, that's just a bonus to us, really.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Couldn't have said it better myself.
No.
So I was going to see if you wanted to talk about the Mandalorian.
Yeah,
the last couple of episodes.
Yeah, you can give a spoiler.
Yeah, so I think we could probably talk about that for a little bit. If we said to everyone, if you haven't seen last Friday's episode, sling your rook, because we want to start talking about it.
Give you a countdown from 5.
Yeah,
5,
so 4, 3,
2, 1.
Bo-Katan.
Spoilers. Yeah.
So yeah, I really, really enjoyed the last episode. As someone who is big on the Clone Wars and Rebels, it was the episode that just kept on giving. I loved it from the very start of the episode. I thought it was fantastic.
I did. I just seen the Empire again, and just I was like, yes, it just brought all those OT vibes back. Yeah.
So what I liked was he's landing the ship, and it's gonna go, it's gonna land, and then the engine just backfires, and he just goes straight in the drink.
And
fucking brilliant.
It is. Yeah,
it was fantastic. That bit was really good. I liked.
Go on.
No, cool.
Oh, I liked the bit in the when they were breaking into the cargo hold, and you got the officer there, and he's like,
"Yeah,
which one? All of them, And then the bit where he's like, "Where are they? Oh, they're in the cargo control area." And they like all look at each other. The next shot, they're all just getting sucked out of the back.
You just hear. You're like, oh fuck.
I think this second season's really coming to the fore, and I think the comedy level is just right. It's really that with the child doing his eating anything that he can get his hands on.
I think they've really started to hit their stride with it.
Yeah,
it's gotten very, very good. I just, and like Quinn says, it was one of the best, but also the shortest.
I can't 34 minutes, I think.
Yeah, I don't want them really to get any shorter than that. I think half an hour is probably good enough. But I thought this was probably the best episode I've seen so far.
Agree.
It's just, and it explained quite a lot as well. They filled in the kind of, so series 1 came up. There was a lot of questions around why is it the Mandalorians suddenly don't take their helmets off, yet in Clone Wars and Rebels it's every 2 minutes they're taking them off. They answered that, and they answered it really well, and it made sense.
That
actually because Death Watch split off, they are now following this creed, and he's a child of the Watch. You don't take that helmet off, yet Bo-Katan and that do take theirs off because they are so they are true Mandalorians. They are from Mandalore. Because he's a child of the Watch. He follows the creed. He's not.
It's like they're like an extreme sort of cultist version where they've kind of corrupted the original views and adapted them to their own ways. And obviously, because he's been born into that, he
don't know no different.
No, exactly.
But they rescued him, didn't they? And then that was it. He was a foundling himself. What I thought was quite interesting, and what I quite liked about it was that when you go back to Clone Wars and you got the whole Maul storyline, it kind of ties in with that, where you had the Death Watch who were very who were kind of fundamentalists who wanted to go back to the Mandalore's warrior roots. Maul gets in, takes over, and it kind of harks back to that, which was really good. And the only thing I think now, Star Wars in general isn't very good at this, is timelines and how people age. It's largely ignored because it needs to be. Like when you see Bail Organa in Rogue One, and he doesn't look much older than he did in episode 3.
Yeah.
And then I think someone then put a picture up of Obi-Wan from episode 3 and
yeah, how aged in for episode 4. Yeah,
he's like fucking 60 odd. And then when you think about okay, so Clone Wars predates the original trilogy. She looked fairly young in that. She's still not. I mean, Katie Sackhoff is 40 odd, I think.
Yeah, I think she's just 40. Yeah,
but she still looks young. Like you would expect her. Really, she needs to She needs to look older than Obi-Wan.
Yeah, I was reading on this. They say that she should be about 50. I think so.
But that's only because they've kind of gone back and retconned it. Like if you think before the prequels, Obi-Wan, he was an old man. He was always an old man, right? Mm-hmm. He was always like 60s, pushing on a bit. Then because of what they did with the prequels, they've had to kind of go, well, he just didn't age very well. He's really only like 50s. The Tatooine sons fucked him up.
Yeah.
All right.
I think Alec Guinness is actually younger than he looks in that. I think he was late
made to look older. Yeah,
he was made to look older. Yeah,
yeah. So he was made to, because Obi-Wan was meant to be an older guy, and then when you look at Darth Vader, you look at obviously Sebastian Shaw wasn't a young guy when he takes his mask off.
No.
He's about the same kind of age as Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Well, if you look at the time difference between Episode 3 and Return of the Jedi, he shouldn't be that old. Like he should still be burnt and shit, but not that old.
I'm a bit out. He was 62 when he filmed.
The ages have always annoyed me because I don't think they did enough to really explain it, or when they kind of cast people retrospectively and stuff like that. It never really, They don't think they gave it a lot of thought. But
yeah. And I have seen all of that stuff, but it's good to. And unlike Steve, I don't think I'm going to put aside the time to invest in all the Rebels and Clone Wars. But I like the fact that it worked as a casual viewer of that aspect, but it also fits in for you, who's seen everything else. So I like the duality that you don't have to, but if you do, then you get that extra bit out of it. Kind of
things with Clone Wars is that it's the first couple of series are a bit painful. They're just random shit goes on, and once the Mandalorians rock up in it, it gets really good.
Yeah,
Rebels is only like 3 series, and that's worth if you get time watching, because that is very good.
Yeah.
I think, like Dean said, there's a few like McGuffins in it, and there's a few bits that are there purely to, but the general story all the way through is very good. There's more Maul in it, which is always good, and that's why I like Clone Wars and I like Rebels, because Maul, who probably only was, I think someone totted up, he was only in it for like 10 minutes or something in episode 1. His screen time isn't that great. He's a cool character who
it's very much like Boba Fett.
Yes, he's that generation's Boba Fett.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
but with him, he was fleshed out way more in Clone Wars and in Rebels, which made him a way cooler character to me. So it's good that the Mandalorian still has ties with all of that, and it all fits in really well. And again, because it's done by the same people, they can tie it in well without trying to shoehorn things in.
Yeah.
I particularly liked. I like the way they just fucking smashed the child into that into the big hole in the middle of the ship, and that thing just goes,
booted him in there, and the thing came up, and took him. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're like, right, we're gonna have that Beskar, and then as soon as those Mandos rocked up, as soon as Bo-Katan and that turned up, it was like, yes, fucking brilliant. Yeah, you can tell we're going to get figures of all of that.
Yeah, I mean, the depth of it is there's definitely some mileage for Hot Toys there.
Yeah,
so the Charles lost his little hover vehicle. I don't know, is he gonna make him a new one?
But that wasn't the crammed out one though, was it?
There is a couple, aren't there? There's a white one and a...
So you had the white one at the very beginning. It then got fucked up and they made a new one. But at one point, I might be imagining it, but he had a silver one, didn't he?
Yeah.
But the one he had on the boat was the old one.
Right, okay.
It wasn't the new one, I don't think.
I don't know. It was. I thought it was a metallic colour, but rather than
I'm not
white.
sure. I'll have to watch it again.
But that was, they were bastards. Those.
So Carl made him another one, but I thought there was 3 in total that he's had. Because I thought one got damaged. So he had one at the beginning. He got damaged. Carl made him another one.
Right. Okay.
White one was the beige one. The red. Yes. Yeah. Yes, it wasn't the silver one. Yeah. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to tomorrow's episode.
Yeah, and do we think we're going to see Ahsoka tomorrow, or they're going to drag that? Are they going to keep that for another few?
I have a feeling that they will probably see. I would love it
at the end of the episode, and that's presumably where he's going to head for next. But whether he gets sidetracked on the way.
I would love it if they jump straight in to have Ahsoka.
Yeah.
But that would be too obvious. I've got a feeling.
Yeah, go on.
I've got a feeling either one or two things is going to happen on his way. I mean, the fucking Razor Crest, I don't know how much more punishment it can take. But I think
string and netting and stuff now, isn't it?
So I think that's either going to fail on the way and they're going to have to stop somewhere and there'll be a completely unrelated adventure.
Yep.
Or Boba Fett's going to catch up with him on the way.
Yeah.
Or the Empire's going to catch up with him on the way.
Yeah.
So I don't think
imagine that he's going to just turn up, give Ahsoka the child, and go, "There you go." There's going to be something.
Problem is, Ahsoka's not a Jedi.
Is she not?
She openly admits she's not a Jedi.
Oh,
so I think he's going to turn up thinking she's a Jedi, thinking he can dump the baby off and the child off, and she's going to go, "Not a Jedi."
She's just a really good fighter, and she's got lightsabers.
She was a Jedi. She was Anakin's. Apprentice, and she was framed. She was cleared, and she left the Jedi Order. So that she left. She was on board an Imperial ship when Order 66 kicked off, and they classed her as a Jedi. But technically, she left. And in Rebel, she openly says, "Not a Jedi."
Right. Okay. So he's got that's
to be fair.
So that's obviously going to come up in this, isn't it? That she's going to go, "I'm not going to take him," because.
Yeah, I think she'd probably point them out somewhere, send them on their way. See, what I would love is, because this is after Return of the Jedi, so Luke has set his school up somewhere, or Luke is about.
Yes,
this is just what I'm about to. See, great minds. So I think what would be great is if he ended up finding Luke.
Yeah.
And takes the child there. I think that would be a really good thing to do. But again, we're going to get a third series, so I think I don't think they're going to get anywhere near dropping the child off anywhere. I think this series is going to be very much around Boba Fett, Ahsoka, and the Empire. I think he's going to be finding his way. At the very least, I think there'll be a big reveal at the end of the episode where they make their way somewhere, either to Luke or to some kind of enclave or whatever. But I think there's going to be a lot of shenanigans with Boba Fett and the Empire to go yet.
Well, because technically, isn't Luke the only Jedi left after that point?
No, there are other Jedi floating around.
So ones that got away and just kind of hid themselves.
Plus, what's the time? How long after Return of the Jedi is this?
About 3 years, I think.
So it's very. So he might have an apprentice. He wouldn't. Kylo Ren wouldn't be born yet.
No.
What I would like to see, which I think would be kind of cool, is if you started to see the Empire turn into the First Order.
Mm-hmm.
If you started to see that gradual change, would be good.
I'd like to see something where they decided why they changed the stormtrooper armor or something like that. Would be cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah, or even if Snoke or someone like that is just in the background, because there must be a directing mind of the Empire. It can't just be different factions. 6 years after, according to Quim. So I mean that's generally a list of our wants. Like they will probably go completely off track, or they might even throw a curveball and go Ahsoka in the next episode. Like we just don't know.
Either way,
looking forward to tomorrow.
You'll be there at 8 o'clock. Well, no, you have to wait now, don't you? Because you, or if you're working from home, you watch it.
I now make Fridays one of my working from home days. I'm not leaving the house on Friday.
I watch it on the iPad while I'm working in the morning, so that I'm spoiler protected, if you like. And then normally for this series anyway, we've all sat down as a family and watched it. Saturday afternoon, and everyone's quite enjoyed that.
No, you won't see Maul, Ryan. He's dead.
Yeah, Obi-Wan had killed him.
He died before A New Hope.
Yeah.
Because they're now 8 o'clock. The thing that pissed me off was the first episode, 6 o'clock. Second episode was 7 o'clock. Third episode was 8 o'clock. And now 8 o'clock is when they're going to be. So each fucking time I've woken up early and it's not been on because they keep pushing it back. Every time.
This time you should be all right. It's not going to be 9 o'clock.
Should be fine. Rebels. Not Rebels, Ryan. Not Clone. So after the Clone Wars, so once you watch Clone Wars, watch Rebels, and it will make perfect sense.
Definitely excited for tomorrow's episode.
Mando is by far my favourite.
Definitely
favourite Star Wars thing at the moment. It makes me want to collect more of the line. It really does. There's so much.
I think it's a strong line. I think that a lot of the potential figures they could announce are really good.
And the thing is, we're not even halfway through the series yet. There's going to be so much more. So very much looking forward to it. But so that was it. I think for once, 2 hours. 2 hours.
We did well. I think
we did well.
So
it's a bit shorter than we normally do, which is quite nice. But
good place to wrap it up.
Good place. Right. Well, happy Mando's Eve. And I shall see you guys in a couple of weeks.
Take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye.